Tell-All Vlog 04. The time I tried to sell my soul to the devil and the Mandela effect. So those of you who know me know I was raised Christian, believing the Bible as an absolute. But even when I was younger, I always had my questions. As time progressed, the church and family always tried to stifle those questions and hinder my curiosity. Eventually, I realized this world for what it truly was, what it truly is. A horrible place where innocent children can be harmed, and babies can be harmed, and there is no divine protection from anyone, and people are paying for alleged sins of their fathers. So like any logical person, if I realized that being on God's side didn't jive with my ideals and mindset, then might as well try the opposite team and see where that gets me. And I could always go in more in depth in another video against my problems with Christianity and how I see the God of the Bible as a tyrant, and he doesn't stand for truth, peace, justice, freedom, and equality for all. But that's a whole nother story. But anyways, so I decided since that team wasn't working, I would try the other one. So I crafted a contract and written up a custom one and signed it, and I did this all in blood. I used blood, I used a pen, a makeshift pen I used, so it was like an old school pen and ink, but the ink was blood. And I read up the contract, and excuse me, I just want to interrupt the video right here, let you know the blood used was my own. It wasn't any animal or human, so no crazy innocent sacrifice stuff going on there. I used my own blood for the ritual. I cut my hand open. That's how it was done, but I wasn't going to get into details. Also, I know my hands are putting up various signs right now, but there are no hand signals. It's just I'm doing this to prevent myself from swatting at all the bugs that are flying around during the filming. Okay, back to the video. And I tried to sell my soul, not for really personal gains, but to help make the world a better place and aid my overall goal to come to completion sooner. Anyways, now here's a strange thing. But before I get to the strange thing, yes, I did have agents come to me and try to collect, but to finalize the contract, you know, at the end of it, I was going to burn it, which I did burn it. And after this blood-written, blood-signed contract, I won't get into the details because I don't want other people to try to imitate it, but that's just the overall premise of how it happened. I burned it, and it was gone. Now, obviously I was supposed to put my end of the bargain and he would hold his. I was really careful and specific of what I said, because when you're dealing with these type of things, you have to be specific and know what you're saying. You can't fall into any word traps or word games. But to keep a long story short, the contract was burnt and finalized. I was going to hold up my end of the bargain, he was going to hold his end. It never happened. Okay, I didn't sell my soul. It didn't work, and this is why I say here's the strange thing. I'll tie in the Mandela effect right now instead of making you wait till the end. The reason why the Mandela effect ties in is because I know I burned this contract and finalized it, and there should be no evidence of it. Except now, when I went back to look in this area that I keep certain things, the contract was back, and it was never burnt, and it was never gone. So how did this piece of parchment that I written up and I burned come back unscathed? It was never burned. Anyways, as time progressed, I realized that I wasn't going to play the paradigm and play the board game of chess of God and the devil, when neither one of them aligned with my ideals of peace, truth, justice, freedom, and equality for all. Becoming one with nature or high tech at the same time, and being in tune with spirituality, so I chose a third option, and that's my team. A team that me and other like-minded individuals created. I won't go into the details here, but if you're worthy, the team finds you, or you'll find the team. But anyways, no longer we play this right and left game, this us versus them. We decided to create our own team. No longer was it just like option A and option B. We created option C. And as time went on, and I used different means of communication, you know, and I spoke with the alleged Satan and Lucifer. That's a whole other story for its own vlog in itself. And they did acknowledge those things that happened in the past, but something happened where it was no longer in void, and now it was my own party and my own team, and obviously my soul was my own and no one else's to have. And it's a long story, and obviously this is a tele-vlog, so I'm supposed to give details, but obviously we'll save that maybe for a different video. I just want to film something really quick while I'm out here, because it's been a while. Again, like, these vlogs are supposed to be one after the next, but because of weird things and computer malfunctions and crashes, I haven't been able to keep my regular upload schedule. And also because of the content that these things are going to be dealing with, I wasn't sure if I should share it, even though certain people have known certain of these things. It's one thing when you're sharing, widespread, but I want to be truthful, and I want you to know where I'm coming from, so you know how I made it to this certain mindset and how I view this world regarding, flat earth, magic, conspiracies, and what have you. How I got to this mindset. You have to know the road and journey I took to get here. So I don't want there to be, any secrets or rumors, and that's why I like to tell you everything up hand first, that yes, I did try to sell my soul. I was a Christian. I am no longer, and I'm on my own team. If you're wondering what that team is, that will be revealed at some point in time, but as all you need to know is right now is a team that stands for truth, peace, justice, freedom, and equality for all. And like I said, one with nature, high tech, and in tune with spirituality. Whatever you envisioned Atlantis being, picture this thing being a billion times better, because our society will not fail, and we will be independent, self-sufficient. It's inevitable. It's not a matter of if it will happen. It's more so, how can you get there? When will it be here? Because it is coming. It's inevitable. But anyways, this is one of the quicker vlogs that I made. But so this is where the Mandela effect comes in. Like I was saying, this piece of parchment was burnt, and it was thrown into a fire. But now when I check this certain area, it was back. And those who know the Mandela effect know these inconsistent realities or parallel universes, and I'm not convinced that time manipulation in parallel universes is actually happening, but some changes are happening, and I can't explain how it was burnt and now it's back. So that's interesting. And like, to go into more details of the soiling of the soul before the Mandela effect was even realized, or I was even thinking of that in modern time, when I went to look and I saw it was back, after the contract was done, obviously, like I mentioned before, 2 agents did arrive, you can say the astral or real world, to present me from certain things, and they're waiting. And like I said, I did finalize it, but even though that happened, it all was null and void. And like I said, I was on my own team. So that's the time when I try to sell my soul to the devil, and there's a Mandela effect. Now, in the upcoming vlog, I'm going to tell you the time that I was transported to a whole nother world. You can call it a reality, a different plane, and it blurred the lines between this reality and the other, and that's how I know it was real, because certain things tied in. But I want to give you that quick backstory of this, and if you want to know any more details or specifics, let me know in the comments below, and I'll answer your question or make a video going into more detail. This is just like the quick summary of how trying to sell my soul and Mandela effect intertwined. But the next one's going to deal with that. So if you like hearing these stories and hearing the weird things about esoteric or cool personal events, subscribe, leave a comment below if you want me to go in more detail, or if you have your own opinions on how the paper was burnt and then now it wasn't burnt. And this event was post Ouija board experience of the last one, and all that. But the next one's going to deal with when I met these 2 entities in another realm, and they showed me things. And if you remember the other video about how I was taken up to the high place, to the top of the tower, and they were showing me the ways of conquering the world, and I had to defend the various I had to defend Hitler and Cord and all that weird stuff. That was in the previous video, so watch that, because that came before this event, but it all tied into one. But yeah, the next one's going to be when I was transported to another reality. I met these 2 entities, and these 2 things, this led me down a crazy rabbit hole that began the whole modern era of the exploration into the esoteric world, where I was always exposed to it. This new event that happened. did deal with time travel, alternate realities, and then merging into this world. So if you want to know how that personal journey goes, subscribe, comment, let me know, because the next one's going to be good. And again, like I said with Mandela Effect, I'm not too sure if they're actually traveling time or using parallel realities for a device, because you don't need an actual machine to traverse these realms. You don't need an actual device. The device can do it, but you don't need one. Alright, this was Muscle Dragon here for Dragon Star Alchemy, telling this experience. I'll see you next time. Peace.